All right, let's start out here. Hi, Ross. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. What brought you out here today?
It's the speed limiter controversy and whatnot.
And what's your stance on that issue?
Well, I think that it's not going to have any environmental impact on the good side. It's not going to have any highway safety impact on the good side. And that the actual if they're trying to improve safety through speed, it should be through enforcement, not regulations.
All right, and you were telling me earlier that you run in all the lower 48 as well as Western Canada. How would this law, or how does this law impact your business directly?
Well, it affects how I run my truck simply because, and even in Northern Ontario, where you have a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit, 90 kilometers an hour, it inhibits the ability for a heavy truck to be able to do any safe passing because you don't have the meat to be able to do it. Not to mention the wintertime with snow and whatnot. And I find that when you put the speed limiter on the truck, there's a lot of situations where my truck is not going to do very well in mountainous terrain simply because it's lugging way too low all the time because it doesn't get a healthy run when it needs to.
Okay, and you're hauling reefer trailers? All right. What are you seeing out there on the road as far as economic conditions? What's going on in the economy right now?
I mean, I've noticed. I noticed the truck stops aren't as full at night as they were even a year and a half ago. That's the biggest thing. A year and a half ago, running along 80 in Gary, Indiana, you'd be pretty hard pressed to get a parking spot after 10 o'clock at night. That's just not the case anymore.
Okay, and what do you know anything about rates? How are the rates in what you're hauling? Are the rates still competitive, or have they dropped?
I find, well, from what I hear from my bosses, is that a lot of our backhauls have really become a problem. Where the backhauls out of the U.S., there's so much fight for it that you're coming back at cost, if not less.
If you had your way, what would you do? What law would you make or get rid of to help your business?
Well, first of all, get rid of speed limiter regulations, and second of all, I think that the 16-hour rule in Canada and the 14-hour rule in the U.S. is actually impacts my rest time much more than anything else. Any of the other, they can leave everything else the same, but they need to drop that because in order to do your job properly on a certain day, I could used to be able to have a 2-hour nap in the afternoon with over rush hour. I can't do that anymore. I need to run straight through the traffic, no matter what, to get everything I can in my 14 hours.
All right. So, what would you rather see happen there? What would the ideal hours of service be for you?
They can leave the hours of service in Canada and the U.S. I think they should harmonize the two of them. To be honest with you, absolutely straight down the board, exactly the same on both sides. And they need to drop the 14 and 16-hour rules.
All right, Ross. Thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you.